Hello, boys. How are we doing? It is Tato Mourinho on his debut stream. Whoa! Here we go. Hopefully, you can all hear me. Everything's all right. I'm frantically checking all around the screen so that you can see what you need to see. Let me know if you can't hear me or anything. And I am very, very excited to have with me the one and only St. Duggan.
How you doing, Spurs? All right. Welcome to the party,
Good,
mate.
Yeah, I'm class. Once this is all running, all the software's up and running, then I'm good to go. It is absolutely boiling savage. I see. I have a couple of them. Where's Kev Phillips? It is absolutely boiling. This is exactly. I've got my holiday shirt on. Like this is something that's not usually in the public eye, but it's absolutely roasting. And we've had a storm from the Sahara that has just absolutely engulfed this part of the world, so everything's covered in dirt, mate. So I'm in my holiday shirt. How are you doing?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, good to have you on board. Good to have you amongst it. I'm sure you're going to be absolutely sound. Good to have you on the beers. Evening, everybody. Feels like ages since Sunday night. I think there's a good round of games tonight, mate, for you to kind of lose your cherry too.
Yeah, hopefully, mate. Well, let's see. Let's get going. I'm just sort of whizzing everything around, right? I'm kind of trying to keep an eye on everything, boys. So sorry if it's a little slow to start with. There's been a few transfers gone through, a few things happening. I have sent a couple of them through already. There's even more to be done afterwards. Let's just get on with the games. Let me get over to the actual game screen, shall I? Let's have a look at the fixtures, mate. Anything jumping out at you?
I think Haggis East Coast looks really, really good. Dimble had a little bit of a crap result against Fosse Road, was it? But looked good against Stackington. Haggis looked really, really good and obviously have strengthened a little bit more. In terms of, I think Vikings Stanley is potentially a big one for Jens tonight. And then you've got a couple of teams in there who haven't been great but haven't been bad. So I'd say, Fosse Road, Stackington, Northern Burn, Dudley, ourselves, teams that the kind of jury's out on so far this early in the season. And it feels really close, really early. Usually it kind of contorts a little bit and kind of gets a little bit tight towards game week 19, 20, but it feels like anybody can beat anybody at the minute. There certainly doesn't feel like there's a runaway team.
No, I'd have to agree there, mate, as well. I think it's testament to the draft as well. That is really, really balanced. And you're looking around. I spoke to a few managers about transfers and things about saying, where's all the decent centre halves? Where, can we sign a decent centre half? But every team seems to have one. Every team seems to have one of the top strikers. So because of the way the draft was set up, it seems like it's completely even across the board. Some teams, unfortunately, now have two centre halves who are brilliant, but the less said about them, the better, eh? I'm amazed to see Stanley up top. I keep forgetting what they're doing. So I'm going to have a quick look at them first of all.
Scoring a hell of a lot of goals as well.
To score this many goals, I didn't know they had a 0-1 in there in the middle. Okay. But to score 9 goals with this formation, and not just this formation, Doug, but these 4 players in the middle, what do you think about that? Because
I said game week 1 opening night when I think there was 3 gents on the stream, Tato, Edwards, and another, I think, who all said that the fancy Fulchester get a result against this formation. And one of the rare times I've kind of called something right, I said I think this formation is about trying to control the game, control possessions, have the higher match stats, and hope and Elka's on the right end of that, and they absolutely did. I mean, I wasn't expecting a 5-0. But I think I kind of briefly mentioned it, but I think Savage is definitely a great example of like your first club very rarely works out in the Super League. Your second club sometimes works out in the Super League, but by the time you get to your third club, you've kind of really kind of earned your stripes, and you know how the game works. You might not pull it off because at the end of the day, to some extent, it's a bit of a flip of a coin. But Savage is definitely kind of mastered the art a little bit. I think the arrows, the 2 blocks of 2-4, brilliant.
Yeah, I'm just fair play to him for even getting these results. Like you just said, mate. I think he knows what he's doing on the game. He's got an unrecognised right wing back there, Madavikia, who's a right winger by trade, really. He can do the job. We all know wingers can do that anyway. But to get so many goals and create so many chances out of these 4, like I say, without having a creative guy in here, these are all for me DMCs. I know Davids plays centre mid, but he's not a creative. These are 4 tacklers, what I would refer to as tacklers, and they don't do much else for me.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's done that is, whatever he's got going over there is quality.
And let's be honest as well, mate. If you pull that first 11 up, and I know he's kind of flirted with Whiteley and Jeff Whitley and Jeremy's, but if you were looking at it blind relative to the other 11s, that's definitely not one of the Hollywood 11s in the league. So it's testament to the actual tactic file and the actual recruitment he's done in the right area. So yeah, I love it. I think it would be great to see Savage in the top 6. I think he's definitely earned the right to be there, given how he's never been handed a team. He's kind of slogged it out with other people's teams. So yeah, best of luck to the lads.
Absolutely, mate. I'd agree there. Right, I think we jump straight in, mate. If honest, when I'm always watching the streams, I'm always thinking, get the bloody games on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to go to Stackington Northern Burn, mate. I'm just starting just because it's the lowest ranked game. I've had no one requesting to go early. Jens says go late. I'll probably just do what I want because it's my stream. But Stackington, I'm going to put on first. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just give a quick shout out to the Haggis boys. Haggis is. Campbell's saying we beat you, Duggan. Mention it, Campbell. Unlike your good self, my man, I've got no shame in admitting when teams deserve credit, mate. So I thought Walter Samuel was absolutely outstanding for you. I thought Greaves' changes in game to deal with 10 men were absolutely fantastic. Almost as if you know your own incompetence by the people you've brought in to help you, mate. But I suppose that's the sign of good recruitment, isn't it? But yeah, hats off to the Haggis boys. I think that's a hell of a tactic and a hell of 11 they've got.
It is. They're and I'll come to Haggis. In fact, I'll do Haggis later. This is all about the Stackington boys. I'm going to loiter on these screens, fellas who are watching, just to make sure that they're right. Put it in the chat if they're not right. If they're wrong, I apologise. They should all be right. I think so. Yes. So here's how they're lining up, mate. The classic horsey kind of arrows all over the shop, and he's brought in Paredes, of course. That's a new signing.
He looks Paredes, doesn't it?
He does look Paredes. Looks pretty good to me there. He's brought Lusenhoff in as well, who seems to tackle for fun. In his first game, 7, got an 8 and then get dropped. But yeah, what do you think of this one?
I'm never convinced that Dan loves his sides. Do you know what I mean? Do you know like how the likes of me and you kind of get a side and we absolutely love them and we're like, even if they're shit, I'm having fun with players I like. I'm never ever really convinced that Horse is like all aboard the players he's got. And he posted today about, I think, seeing him kind of comment in one of the WhatsApps about not being able to get big strikers firing, and I know Vieri's on his way out. But I think there's a little bit of truth in that for him, isn't it? It's like he kind of doesn't do well when he's got those Hollywood players. It's more about those hidden gems that he finds, the Kamunas, the Kariokas, the Matavikias, who's now doing it for Stanley, and Dan brought him into the league. So yeah, I think the more horsey this tactic becomes, the more success Dan's going to have, which is really weird.
He likes his players, doesn't he? He doesn't like certain players. Yeah, he's not used to playing with those big names, is he? I've heard that D'Alessandro is on his way out as well.
Okay. What's that deal? Do you know what it is? Or
yeah, I do know what it is. That's one that Haggis haven't gone. I know they probably did want to get that over the line after how good he's been in small horse for Rocks. He has gone to, I think I'm all right announcing it because it's been sent through. He's gone to Dims.
Cosmos? I thought so. Yeah. Dims is a big fan.
Cosmos have got him in exchange for Torres. So that deal has gone through. So yeah, I'm going to press continue because that's what you do. Oh, straight on Stackington, beautiful. Okay, so let's send on with them. He's very specific. He wanted 3 for Paredes and, strangely enough, 45 for Alex. Okay, there we go. If I get, yeah, that's fine. If I get anything wrong, boys, I'm sorry, but I'm doing this for free, so you're welcome. Northern Burn, what do you think to that? He said as is, I think. So crack on, what do you think?
Yeah, I think, again, I think there's still definitely a feeling that Edwards has got unfinished business in the transfer market. I think there's a couple of players in here that Edwards has came out and said wouldn't be first preference, but he's kind of making do with them at the minute. But look, we've got to a point where about 30-40% of the league now play this Burn Trident, as I call it. And Edwards is is kind of responsible for that because of the success he's had. So it's definitely a tactic that can outperform the 11 on the pitch. But he hasn't really got his firing at the top end of the pitch. And when Edwards does well, he's usually got one guy or two guys at the top in that like midfield triangle, the AMCs and the ST, who really do their bit. So I think if he's looking for anything in the transfer market, it's probably AMCs. Maybe that second MC to go alongside Totti, but it's a really good 11, I think.
Yeah, it's a solid 11. Looking on the front of it, this looks like a really solid front three, like you just say. But after having to click on all three of them, then they're all on the 6.67 rate with 1 goal contribution out of all three of them, which is not good enough really for this formation, because like you say, they do need to be absolutely firing. So
especially in at a start, and it feels as though there's been a hell of a lot of goals this early. And if Swanee's tuned in, it would be great to kind of know how we're looking on that goal spread graphic, that kind of green red armbands graphic that goes about goals scored. I think it feels that we've had more goals earlier in this iteration, in this season, than some of the previous ones. So I'd be interested to kind of bottom that out.
Very interesting. Welcome to everybody in the chat. See a good friend of mine, David Wright, Lefty, is in the chat. Nice to see you, mate. He said he'd be tuning in. He's begging for the pod to be back, Duggan, because he used to fall asleep to my voice, which is kind of creepy, but I'll take it as a compliment. Okay, let's get on with the game, everybody. Hopefully my champ isn't on like uber fast. I don't know. Let's have a look. Here we go. Good luck, everybody.
Score draw here, I reckon. Score draw.
Is this the good speed? You let me know. Is this too fast?
Very
or too
fast.
slow?
You want to be very fast.
Right, okay. It felt like it was going rapid. All right, okay. So not much going on. Just jump through 20 minutes there very quickly. It seems a lot of Stackington, doesn't it? Stackington seems to be strong.
Yeah, definitely at the top end of the pitch. Rob Sloth giving a 1-0 Burn prediction.
Nicely done. I felt like it flew by really there. Not much going on there with the shots. I'll stick this screen on. Elber, again, in that position that Stackington are struggling with, another big name striker, not doing the business for Horsey. I keep telling him to come and get one of my guys, but he won't. Are you imagining going to see some changes here?
Definitely not from Edwards. I think Horsey might do something with that Diagaro MC / EMC. We'd probably say Alex come on, I think, as is from Edwards, nice and early for you.
Probably, thank you. Yeah. So I'm just going to show that one anyway. Roy Keane having an absolute stormer there. He's definitely on for a booking at some point. Ortega struggling. Thuram, that'll turn around. He's not had much to do, Lillian, there, is he?
Horse is a late 60 call, and Horse also saying that Burn hit the bar twice, which I think both of us missed. So well done, Horse.
Sorry, I was too busy crying about the speed of it, making sure it's not too fast for everyone. All right, let's play until 60 then. I'll do my best to pause it. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, big injury that.
I tried to press stop and it went through. We'll do all the 60 changes now. It's 2 minutes. I'm not going to cry over 2 minutes, boys. I don't want to slow it down.
Ambrosini's just came in as well. Is it a debut for Ambrosini tonight, or am I right? He's played once, so he must have came in. Yeah.
So what do you reckon? It's got to be. I was going to say Darbo and switch Malevsky, but he's not.
Yeah, it's probably got to be Alex, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has to be looking.
Maybe go to two AMCs behind Elber, put Malevsky central.
Will he deviate from the formation? Probably not, knowing him. Paredes again just comes in this formation and just kills it every time. Edward's saying as is. That's a new one. Thank you, Edward, for that early call. We'll just go. We may as well do it now at 58.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we have
also probably just having a little bit of think?
Is it Rob, Alf, or is it you? Did Rob say he was up early? I couldn't remember.
He's got 5 o'clock start. You WhatsApped, I think. Yeah, he's playing me, so you can go early if you want to go early, mate.
Yeah, I'll get you on this, yeah. Right,
so it's Kirsten for Elber.
Yeah.
Alex for Ambrosini.
Yeah.
And then switch with Marcelino. So Alex is the MC, Marcelino is the MC with the diag.
Yeah. Everything good there. He hasn't said his cheers or his please at the end. So, your rules, Horsey, you've got to say cheers or please at the end of your comment. So I know you finished.
Rox has said, I'm busy throwing eels at a poster of Mick Hucknall for charity, but Campbell says whoever timed him out is in big trouble and it's all out war. Has someone spanning Campbell, have they?
Oh, yes. Have they? Maybe they're sick of his videos. Yes. Get in there. Has he just got... Rox had just popped in and popped off just to send abuse via Rox from Campbell.
There's only
Nice.
one man with that power, and I'm not outing him. So
Yeah, I did it. Swap arrow to the left of Kirsten and then go. Oh, come on. Okay. Can do that for you, Horsey. And then great cheers. If you're waiting for my rule. Yeah, I am. Waiting for your rule, mate. Okay. Let's go. Match stats changed. Nothing at all.
one goal probably enough.
Oh, you'd say so, mate. Fairly not dull, but not much going on, to be fair. Oh, there we go. Montella's finally got one. Totti assist, I think, if I read rightly. Montella, it's stacking some pushing again, but not creating much at the moment. Feels a bit more Northern Burn after the changes, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Stackington
Kirsten.
really. Ooh.
Waiting for his first one. Ian will be absolutely buzzing with that. Absolutely buzzing with that Montella, and it finishes 1-0 to Burn. That's the big relief that for Mr. Edwards that game. Not only the win, but Montella getting a goal. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that Ambrosini going off injured had a massive impact because Burn only had one shot on target by the time we got to 60. And we kind of said one shot was enough. But then by the time we get to 90 minutes, Burn have created 7 chances, 3 on target. So they've created, 3 times as much in half an hour than they did in 60 minutes of the game. So Ambrosini definitely done his bit in the middle of the park. But how rare away wins are this season. That is a big win, and obviously Horse saying he couldn't get Montella firing for Bostock, so that would probably hurt a little bit more for him, to be fair.
Yeah, there's as you can see, this is an absolutely solid performance from what was quite weak at half time, and even at 58 minutes, these guys really stepped up. Essential to get 2 centre mids getting an 8 and 1 with an assist from Totti, I think is I'd be really happy with that. But there's the match stats if people want to screenshot in your own time. Of course, Karaoke not doing particularly well. Unfortunately, and across here to Edwards. Roy Keane, that seems a harsh 8 considering he's done a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
But Montella there, yeah. I mean, 9 headers is good. One of these, 9 of them, 3.
I'll tell you one thing that's really standing out, even just at game week 4, is those big, heavy hitting DMs that suffered last season because of the red cards. Those really big top DMs are coming out to play this season already. We've seen massive performances from Keane, from Yeremies, from Vieira, from Ndiaye. All of those big, heavy hitting DMs. Your 2 boys are absolutely dominating. The Haggis 3 are dominating. So it feels like it's a build for DMs again. This.
Yeah, maybe. See, there no bookings for the DMs again. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so we move on. I think Mr. Sloth wants to go next, so we will put him on next. I know that he had Muzzy is down for a transfer. There's some chat about Muzzy getting sold on the transfer. The transfer hasn't gone through yet this game week. I didn't process it. It'll be going through after the stream's finished. So I did message Robin because he actually messaged me and said take Muzzy out and put Oliveira up front. But I said, well, Muzzy's still there, mate. So he said,
yeah,
right,
so he's coming to me anyway, so I didn't have any opposition to it. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them, isn't it? So, but yeah,
going to be an Achilles injury, no doubt, for the season. I didn't even see we've got Mr. Myth playing. Mr. Myth is playing after a typically horrendous first 3 games.
So weird, isn't it? So weird.
It's weird, but it's the creativity bug, isn't it? It hasn't been fixed on this. So he's currently playing with, if I'm correct, 1 creativity. So that's why he's bad, because he's playing with 1 creativity. So
I think he'd be good in that 3DM kind of Veron role that Fifey's kind of put him into. I think and put Veron into. I mean, you'd be ballsy to do that with Zidane considering his track record. But if he's looking to do anything experimental, I think Zidane as a DM with a 4-head arrow could be deadly. Probably
part of a 3 maybe, yeah. Or even in a flat 4 there. But yes, so he's playing he or they, I don't know what it is. They are playing the formation that doesn't work, has some success but not particularly much. But they are doing well, absolutely up there, still unbeaten. One of the only 2 teams that are unbeaten. So you probably could say the 2 best teams in the league. So let's see how they do. Let's go on with it. I don't care. 14. Okay, and they are up against yourselves. Of course they are, mate. We've got George Atos in there. I absolutely love your team. Like it's well known that your team is very, very good. The team is good, but you unfortunately are not.
Absolutely.
It's kind of coming to the fore now, isn't it? I'm happy with Genesis being here, mate, because I don't know if you know, but I used to manage League Genesis.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like to mention it. You've made a couple of transfers. You've brought in Landon Donovan for a bit more
Yeah,
AMC.
fillers. So it was kind of Wellens, Donovan, Smerton, Materazzi coming in. Just better fringe, more preferred fringy players than what I had knocking about, to be fair.
I mean, fringe players, he's gone straight in at centre
Mm.
half.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't got much else there, have I?
No, you have not, mate. It's a wonder you concede so many. Right, so let's hasn't Dye been playing well? Average. I mean, we talked about this, didn't we? He's got 3 assists for no reason whatsoever. But love it. Right, is he number 6?
Yeah, good. Whatever, mate. I'm not lost.
Okay, good. That should do it.
Best of luck, Bob. Best of luck, Alf.
Good luck, boys. Good luck, everybody. Off we go. Sloth straight on the attack there. And Trezeguet there, another myth. Zidane, I mean, I'd love it if he scored, mate.
From a free kick as well.
There'll be plenty going on. We're only on the 7th minute. It was half time by now on the other game. Yeah, fairly even. Not too much being created, I don't think, at the moment. I feel like you're very, very dangerous going forward with those 3 attackers up front. They can score at any point.
The worry for me is Mpenza's on fire, Collins is on fire, but I'm not getting goals from anybody else. Whereas there's teams in the league that are kind of, they are getting goals from kind of various different places. So it does feel at the minute that if Mpenza doesn't turn up, then we're going to kind of struggle to score goals. But the fire in Mpenza is a good thing to have, I think, this early. So
your two AMCs are very, very liable to go on a hot streak and then absolutely tank, aren't they? So you're worried that if this is as good as it's going to get, they won't improve. There we go. We got some goals. Well, that's his 5th goal of the season, mate, already. Come on, look at that. That's a game. Look at that. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, if there's one thing me and Rob guarantee, it's playing the game the right way. We might not be the most successful, but I think we both play it the way we should be playing it for Hollywood superstars, and that's fucking goals, chances, and attacking football, to be fair. Gets to nowhere, like, but,
we enjoy it most times, mate. Most times we enjoy it. Yeah, 2 very attacking managers here, and it's nice to see. Here's how the stats are looking. Lee Bow, you're not doing anything as usual. Materazzi, not doing much either, but Khan's having a good game. In DI, like you say, those powerful DMCs coming to the fore again, and a solid 7 from you, Gerrard. And Penza doing absolutely nothing except putting the ball on the back of the net. So he's not even tackling. He's not winning his headers. He's barely passing it, but he's doing what he needs to be done, mate. Over to the slots. We've got some changes. Let's jump on it. So we've got Enrique on for Muzzy. Up top. Enrique in the hole. Okay, so swap Enrique with him and him across there. Lovely. Thank you for that, Rob. Very nice and fast. I think that's what you said, so I'm going to press continue.
We'll just stick a little diag on Boya, please, mate.
Beautiful. This way.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Thank you. Cheers, mate.
Van Bommel, mate. I mean, talking about some players doing nothing. He's weird, isn't he? That is weird.
Again, another one. Shouldn't be that bad, should he?
He's quality on home saves, whereas Zidane's bad on home saves, but he's not. He's very good on him. Anyway, right, let's get on with the second half. Let's see if we can stop it in the 60th minute. Good luck, fellas. Oh, sorry. Eager. Okay, there we go. There we go. So it was a bit jolty. There you go, fellas. There's your 2. And I'll jump onto conditions in a second. Have a look at your match ratings there. Conditions coming up if you care about them. There you go. Duggan,
we'll stick as is, mate.
No problems condition-wise. Yeah, not surprised there. And slots condition-wise, all absolutely fine. As is for him. Just have a quick look at the match stats. Not much changed. Bit from the slots, but nothing from you there, mate, in those 20 minutes. Pressure's got to Tato. Wow, right, faffing round, pressing pause.
160. It's the hardest thing. The hardest thing the whole stream is making sure worst things when someone concedes and you just hit it. You feel as though like, oh shit.
Big massive jump.
Steve's got a thing about when you click subs, he thinks that like forces a goal kind of thing. So
yeah, I think it does, mate, as well. I think it always has done.
You think it does something? Yeah.
Is there going to be a winner? It feels like one more goal will do it. It's all the slots, mate. Now at the moment, maybe that arrow on.
Yeah.
Struggling there on the swaps from the slots. Davy Collins. I thought that was the chance then. Like I say, you've always got a goal in you there, but the slots seem to be dominating possession.
Yeah.
5 minutes to play. Enrique's getting involved plenty. We're tickling over. Are the Sloths going to remain unbeaten? Yes. So, oh my good
Oh,
Lord.
there we go.
Mother Mary and Joseph.
Late winner for the Sloth boys. Well in, Rob.
Gee whiz. That is... Oh, that's a kick in the nuts. I mean, they deserve that. Look at that.
Deserved it from 60 minutes onwards, mate.
They
Deserved
were
it, absolutely.
Quality, they were quality, weren't they, mate? Absolutely quality. So let's jump to you to see what
Absolutely
happened there. I mean, you cannot argue either way with 10 shots on target, 10 shots at goal, but
yeah, you got to take the chances though, mate. Again, it's like Haggis. We created 13, didn't we? We created 13 against Haggis and only scored 2. So it's one of them. Got to get that midfield clicking and contributing a bit more, I think.
And a lot of the time, when you're getting battered, when you're getting hammered and attacked constantly, these guys' ratings will be higher because they're so busy. So a lot of the time, you see this when you've been humped. You're still doing all right. You kept it 2-1, but you've been hammered there the last half an hour. Let's jump over across. Wow, that is the formation that doesn't work. Very, very good. I mean, going forward, it wasn't particularly good. You can see again, 7s all over the board.
And the sub got the goal as well.
Sub got the goal, and yeah, he looked like he was more involved than this. But again, that back line there, you've got the CC, but incredible. Salahamadzic as well, no assists and still with a 9. Has he been making runs all over the shop? No. It's an interesting one, isn't it? That's a generous 9 there for him.
Nicky Butt doing well there as well. Not passing much, but tackling for fun. Again, another DM doing it.
That's it, yeah. He's barely any passes, plenty of tackles. And Ronaldinho not quite doing much, but you know he's going to get you 10 goal contributions by the end of the season, which is more than any other AMCs. So Trezeguet doing very, very well. Look at that. 11 headers, 7 shots. He had 7 of the shots. Very, very good. A good shout to go with him as your main guy. And there you go. Slothman, congratulations, pal. Ronaldinho spare part. Well, I'll drop you a DM after. Okay, let's get going. I don't know where else to go. We'll go to Macca and the Foss Road boys. Again, I'll leave this on just for a minute, just to let me know if I've done anything wrong. Placente is coming, mate. Placente is coming at left wing back. They've just signed him. I mean, he's come in for a player who got 2 8s in a row from left wing back. Or at least one of them was left wing back. So, interesting one there. They have changed. Yeah, Paredes has gone out. Vieira's dropped back to DMC, and they brought Dalmat back in, who got an 8 and a goal last time. I think he's an absolute myth, but you cannot argue with that already. So that's coming in 7th in the league. Yeah, what do you think, mate?
Solid, I think. I think Smuts he definitely looks better for the deals he's done after game week 1. I think, or kind of when game week 1 it kind of cracked on a little bit. I know he absolutely loves Van der Vaart. It'd be great to see a save where Van der Vaart kind of comes to life and really makes a difference. And I got a good one for you as part of an 11-game streak. Yeah. But then did very little at the back end of that. So, first 3, 4, 5 games, he got a fair few goals and assists and then kind of petered out. But playing in this early is probably only going to benefit. And he loves Everton. So this is, again, is another manager that's built an 11 in the kind of the image that he wants to play the game. So, it's always twice the fun when you do that, I think.
Smuts will probably won't mind me saying, but he had a plan set out for season 2. He said, by season 2, I want X, Y, and Z in my team. I want all these players in my team ready for season 2. He sent me a message the other day. I've done this deal. I've already got the 5 or 6 players that I want ready for season 2. Plus, I've got this one. I'm thinking, well, if that's your plan, and you've got these extra players. He was talking to Roberto Vieira as his extra players, and Saviola, I think, was his extra one. And you're looking pretty good, aren't you? There, I think Maldini's starting like absolute train.
It's class. I love that.
Yeah, I like that. I like the way that's gone. He wanted 31. Sorry, 31. Yeah, I like that mindset, and he's just going for it and sticking with it and seeing what happens. So that's good. Macca is on a train. He's brought in John Terry. Zidane's obviously gone out. Seedorf's moved inside. Beckham's back out wide. He's dropped.
Seedorf started well, I think. Seedorf started well. I think he started well.
Assists, yeah.
2 assists,
got that in him, hasn't he? 7 and 9 last game. Since he's moved to this formation, and this is Beckham's debut, I thought it was. A typically
like it's took a while to happen, hasn't it? Injury.
Yeah, been out for a long time with injuries, and his left-sided player is out injured as well for a fair bit. But so there we go. He's brought Terry, and I'm not a huge fan of Terry, but he's got Vialli there and Baldini in reserve. So Plenty of firepower. Constantine on the bench, which will be killing you, I'm sure.
Absolutely, mate. Heartbreak.
Yeah, Hopkins, I believe, is in the chat doing the transfers. So transfers
Good
doing
lad.
the subs. So let's get going. I'm going to put Terry on number 3. I don't, and that's me being generous. I don't really care. Don't numbers don't mean anything, as you'll see from my squad numbers. Okay, good luck, fellas. Here we go. Duggan, any predictions?
2-1 Fulchester, I think.
I'm going with 2-2. I think fairly even so far. Good Foss Road start, and then Fulchester coming into it a bit. Owen, not quite getting.
I was just about to ask you, I think you speak to Smuts about getting the tactics and stuff more than me. So, what's is Owen like his guy? Is he just there for the minute and he doesn't want to kind of there's Crespo again?
He's scoring any. I think Owen is probably just there for now. I think I'm not too sure. If he's a massive Santa Cruz fan. I think Owen was just doing all right. Oh, look at this formation from the Fulchester boys. It's Macca's formation, isn't it? It's doing the business again. Got 4 across the middle with those wingers, and there's your Michael Owen. If you look at Michael Owen's goal contributions over the years, he's got absolutely tons. So it proves that if you play him, he scores. So I get why he's doing it, and he seems to be doing the business enough for Foss Road. This game will never end.
Hell of a long half, this.
Yeah, I mean, what? Well, that was a brilliant game, fellas, that. Macca, deadly as always. He's done this a few games, hasn't he? The last few games, he's not had loads of shots on goal, but he seems to be putting them in. And there's Foss Road with 6 and 4. Yeah, fairly average from Foss Road there. I'm going to check out the assists because see, it looks like Mr. Beckham's got one. Of course he has. Yeah, Beckham's got 1 assist, pumping him up to an 8. Debut assist for him. He'll do well for Macca, won't he?
Absolutely, yeah. Especially with Crespo in the form that he's in.
Yeah, it's frustrating, that, isn't it? I mean, Macca will be buzzing, but it's very annoying for us to see because he's been a myth for a long time and Macca's getting a tune out of him. But, fair play to Macca. Nice to see Robin doing well on my testing games. He did incredibly well at AMC. Really, really well. Really strong he was. So that's coming up as well. Dalmat again with an assist. Another goal contribution. That's 2 in 2 games for him. 6, it doesn't matter. The rating absolutely doesn't matter for those MCs. If Smuts gets an offer, Owen is gone. Yeah, I did think that. Yeah.
I think you're one of the few that would make a decent offer for him, given that you've got that insight into how much he's contributed. I'm not sure you would have anyone in the league really that would make it worthwhile for him.
I think you've probably got to play him in a 2. I mean, I know I appreciate he scored here. I think you get best numbers out of him in a 2 because the game relies so much on headers. Well, in my opinion, that 2 and non-1, he's going to struggle there, isn't he? But not struggling tonight. As is from Smuts, and Macca's not here, so I'll go to 60. He did say before he's not here, and he'll catch up later. Wish me luck, which is very kind. Thanks, Macca. Hope the train is treating you well, pal.
Van der Vaart with a chance.
Yeah. Oh, geez, that jumped ahead. There we are, 62 minutes. Don't do the goal thing. Okay. Hopkins is here, isn't he, from Macca? I forgot about that, sorry.
Nah, I've not seen him, mate. I've not seen him or heard from him.
Neither have I. I don't think Macca will be doing anything, if I'm honest. John Terry's playing poorly. He's got no subs on the bench for that. Adidas keeping him in it at the moment, it looks like to me. I would expect some changes, wouldn't you? What would you do, mate?
I think probably Rocky Santa Cruz comes on. I know Smuts really, really likes him. You maybe drop one of the MCs, go 2 up top, or you push the wing backs on, maybe, I think. I'd probably say he's going to go 2 up top. Is that as is? He's going to go as is?
I'd say he said SA incoming.
Okay.
Macca has no signal. You want me to ask him about subs?
No, because we're live, mate.
It'll be difficult if he's got no signal as well, Campbell, won't he, mate? So Rivaldo, I would guess, would be coming off and possibly going to a 2 up front, and maybe, but not sure. Placente not playing too well. Might potentially be regretting not playing Liberani there. I would be moving Rivaldo off. I don't see what
in Rocky Santa Cruz, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what Rivaldo's doing in life. But you have to say that Owen is doing well. He's not winning his headers, but what he is doing is getting his shots off. So, to be on an 8 with no headers won. And that was all Foss Road second half.
Yeah, they definitely came on strong there. They created a hell of a lot. Who's been having the chances there then? One's had 6 shots, 5 on target, and only the 1 goal. I mean, that's probably why he has got the question mark over him in that. I think he's probably the only player in that 11 that you'd have a bit of a question mark over at the minute in terms of if you're Smuts, not necessarily if you're the rest of us, but knowing what I know. So Smuts to say there's an essay incoming, I think
that's
is
fine.
going to
We can hold
be
on, mate. Nice to
DMs
see.
up at MLs and 2 up top, maybe, I think.
Possibly trying to match up with that 4 across the middle. Yeah, he's doing something there. Interesting that Dalmat and Van der Vaart against 7s. That's good to see. I like that. So Rivaldo for Rocky Santa Cruz did say that. 2 up top. I mean, if that's your essay, mate, it's not much. I'm assuming there's more coming. Saviola off. Okay.
See, it's a weird one, that, because that for me automatically looks miles better.
What,
maybe not Saviola going off, but like I'd have Saviola in there behind. That for me is better than Rivaldo as a second AMC behind Owen.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Santa Cruz is that big fucker, and Owen's going to be in and around it, you know.
Is Santa Cruz a big fucker? Is he?
Not yet. 13, maybe gets there though, didn't he?
14. He looks good. He always looks good, doesn't he? Yeah, he's another one of those. But Smuts loves him. His high current ability, potential ability, his guys, and it's it's working for him to a degree so far. That'll do. That'll do it. That it?
Yeah, that'll do.
Oh, fuck it, you said. Okay. Okay, lovely. Let's crack on. Playing the formation that does not work, but works for some people. 20 minutes to go. Fulchester hanging on, clinging on they are. And a goal, Maldini. I did say 2-2, and it seems like it's ticking towards that now. Unless they can get another one, Foss Road.
There's been a couple of results this season where kind of managers have benefited from not being present. Do you know what I mean? But actually, I think this is probably one where Matt has suffered by not being present, because if he was here, he probably maybe would have went with 2 DMs and 1 MC and kind of showed things up a little bit. I think they've battered them there.
They haven't done anything since half time. They literally have nothing. It was 5 for 5 at half time. And Foss Road have, to be fair to them, brought themselves back into it. Dida's had an absolute screamer. Beckham, he only got 1 assist in the end. Yeah, 1 assist for Beckham under 9. Mac will be made up with that. Crespo another goal. Chiesa and AMC getting a goal. Vieira there on an 8. Owen on an 8. We've got the assist there for Foss Road. Emerton, his boy Emerton, playing in first season. He's only going to make him better, mate, isn't it? You saw how good he was for me in season 4. So playing him at season 1 and sticking with him, he's going to be special, him, isn't he? Dalmat assist, Van der Vaart with a 7. So probably frustrating for Foss Road, but for me that was a good comeback and a positive signs, isn't it, mate? That's what you want to see. Yeah,
I think they both would have took a point pre-game, so it's kind of one of those where you shake hands, crack on. You haven't been beat, to be fair.
I think you stick with it. I think Steve and Smuts are both talking in the chat there. It's frustrating. I get that it's frustrating, but you just stick with it. Stick with it. If it's working, then stick with it. Vikings wanted to go last. Astic Hodgion, don't know who they're playing. Playing Fifey's boys. Okay, this is how we're going. It's going as is, as far as I can remember. No new signings or anything. He's not here. He'll be watching back later. Also sent me a message to wish me luck. So cheers for that. Cheers for that, Hodgie. He's playing Cashman at right wing back, which I'm a big fan of playing wingers at wing back, to be honest, mate. And they've got all the stats, haven't they? So, I like it.
Yeah, it's good. Again, feels a little bit like my side, I think, in that it's a side that on paper should probably be doing better than it is, but for whatever reason they just haven't been that great, and Hodgie's not massively sold. Vasily up over Morientes is a really interesting one, considering how good Morientes has been in the past. I get it's only season 1, and he kind of usually kicks on about season 2, maybe 3. But interesting that. Couple of players in here that I think Hodgie's downgraded for in kind of key areas, like Vogel's in there, Silvestre coming in. I think he probably got the worst end of that deal with Fifey, I think. Not that Hodgie will give a fuck what I think. Probably should be doing better, like my side should be.
Yeah, I think I get the Ferdinand thing, because he's not done particularly well ever, really. I mean, he tackles a fair bit, but he's not in any of the iterations. He's not been great. He's had a couple of seasons where he's been good, so I get that. Aymar's a strange one, but maybe he just wanted a change, because it feels like Hodgie's had Aymar, Raul, and Shevchenko and Morientes on every save forever. So maybe he just wanted a change, and that's absolutely his prerogative. Fair enough. So there we go. That's Hodgie. Here is Fifey. Fifey, I'm just going to chuck Hierro down. Doesn't matter, does it? Because you can bring anybody up whenever you want, so it really doesn't matter who's down. This is how Fifey is set up. I'll leave it on a second to make sure it's correct, Fifey. I think it is. He's brought in Batistuta. Yeah, he switched it around a bit. Aymar's been dropped, hasn't he? Yeah, Aymar's been dropped after
Interesting.
an 8 and a 6 and a goal already. I'm very interested in this Veron experiment, or this Veron tactical stroke of genius. Really interested in it because no one can get players like this playing. And if Fifey's found the spot for him, then I think it's class because it opens up a new sort of avenue, doesn't it? What do you reckon, mate?
Absolutely, I totally agree with that, mate. And I think what I'd probably say is this Exiles 11 looks worlds away from the 11 that was on the pitch against you. I felt like the 11 that was on the pitch against you and the tactic he played against you was kind of like old Fifey. You know, like Fifey that wanted to score 4 and concede 5, not necessarily wanted to, but that's kind of how Fifey's games used to go in the past. 4-2 attack in, it was almost like, you know, old school Fifey a little bit. And this tactic in the 11 that he's assembled now is very much like, you know, this is kind of Fifey again, having been around long enough to know what works and doesn't work, but at the same time still offering a little bit of invention with, you know, Veron with the arrow, which I think like it's work class. Veron absolutely dominated against us and basically turned the game around when they were 1-0 down. So yeah, I think credit to Fifey for the players he's brought in, and he'll always, you know, him and Maka are probably the two worst managers for playing down their chances. But there's absolutely no reason why that tactic and that 11 really shouldn't be competing. Fifey, interestingly, saying in the chat there, this is boring, Fifey. You know, whenever I kind of fucking, you know, sail away from Super League at whatever point that is, on my Super League gravestone, I want you can be boring, or you can be competitive. You kind of be, you know, you can be inventive or you can be competitive, but you kind of be both, and that's kind of what Fifey's alluding to. There's no place in Super League for the one at the back, kind of 5 up top, diag arrows all over the shop. You just get found out and you just get the head clean bummed off you. There's a reason why set tactics, the Burn Trident, the 2-7-1, the 3 DMs, there's a reason why they hold dominance. Nobody plays narrow anymore because it doesn't work. And you've either got to be creative or you've got to be competitive, but you can't be both.
Yeah, I'd probably agree there, mate. Yeah, I don't think it's boring fight for this team. It looks good to me. It looks interesting. I think he's a top striker from doing, you know, really pushing on, but then he'd be losing one of his elements further back, and I don't think he's particularly got the elements to swap for a big striker. Really, because he doesn't want to lose anything because he's worked hard to get to this point. I think he's done really well, and maybe it was a bit of a wake up call that first game against me. Not taking any.
It's a good time for it to happen. Good time for it to happen. First game of the season.
Yeah, you go for it, you get pumped, say, actually, hang on, let's change it. Let's change the tact a bit. Okay, so good luck, Hodgie, when you join us. I think he has beers on a Thursday, and Fifey in the chat. Good luck, fellas.
Have a home win this, mate.
Oof. Straight in there, Diego. I hate Diego Tristan. Straight in there with the goal. It's been all Exiles.
Created a hell of a lot in 15 minutes.
They are pumping. I think there's 3 or 4 shots on goal. Veron been mentioned a fair bit. I don't know if that's just because we're talking about him or what, but I felt like I've seen his name a bit. Los Santos starting to come back into it now. Nothing much happening. Plenty of fouls by the looks of it. Again, free kicks again. Riquelme there.
Jens, you haven't been on yet. You haven't been on yet, mate.
No, I'm waiting, mate. And Diego, disallowed goal for Diego Tristan.
How many chances do you think Exiles are going to have on the match stats here? Because it feels like they've had at least 8 or 9.
Sucker punch right at the end of the half. Is it a sucker punch? It is not. Yeah, I would say 7, 6 and 4. Okay. Quality half, 3 and 2. Not much coming back. Only towards the last 5 minutes of the half there. Tristan is not crap. Fair enough, Steve. But you like everybody and you sign everybody, so it's hard to take you seriously. Veron on a 9 again. I mean, I don't know what he's getting 9 for. Does he run with the ball? He does. He runs, mate. He runs and dribbles. So good in that. So I like it a lot because he gets on that ball and he takes it forward, whereas normally DMCs are tackling and they're pinging it. It's a very, very interesting thing you got going there, Fifey. I like it.
Yeah, and actually he's creating a hell of a lot, but I'm wondering if he's on direct passing there because actually, you know, he hasn't had much of the ball. You know, that's not really key players like Riquelme and Veron. Your wingers, you would expect them to be having at least double finger. Yeah, get a double finger up. Double finger passing.
He might be getting one if he carries on like this.
You'd expect them to at least have double figure passing. So yeah, I wonder if there's a little bit of direct or long passing on there from the.
I wonder if there is. Let's have a look.
Genius.
Let's have a look, shall we, mate?
Let's have a look.
Here he is, one of my loved but also hated players in the game. a fella that doesn't assist, he doesn't tackle, he can't tackle because he doesn't do it very well ever. Ever. This is awful tackling for a DMC or an MC. People keep count of the tackles like I do, and he's not winning anything. Veron is just dancing around Vogel. If Hodgie was here, he may well be taking somebody like that off for a Kaluzny just to stick the boot in on Veron, but he is not here. So we will go till 60. See how it goes. See if they'll rue that disallowed goal. Not much happening. Again, all exiles and the occasional foray from Los Santos. This is the part where I just stare at the clock rather than the text. I clicked it on 59.
Welcome to the club.
I don't even know if anything happened there. It didn't happen. Okay, so I'll just put Fifey's on because Hodgie is not here. So Riquelme, I don't think he's an AMC there because he's basically playing as a striker up there with that arrow. So for me, he's not that role. He's a centre mid in a 2, really, for me. But
I think Lawson for Riquelme would be the change I'd make here, I think.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so as well. Vogel's probably better in a 2. Conditions, please. I'm sorry, yeah. They don't mean anything, Fifey. They literally don't mean anything. They will be very similar by the end of the game. There you go. There you are. There's your conditions. What are you thinking here? Yeah, I think Riquelme for Larson. I think that'll probably do it, really.
Yeah, I think so. Or you'd maybe, if you wanted to do, if you wanted to get Batistuta off for Larson and put Nedved on for Riquelme, take the arrow off, so he is just sitting in the hole there trying to create stuff.
He's going as is, mate. Plenty of chat about Vogel in there. He does have some seasons where he's good.
There we go.
He doesn't do anything, then an injury. That's got to be Larson straight up front, hasn't it?
Yeah, I fucking hate Batistuta, honestly.
Yeah, he's crap and he's awful.
I fucking hate him.
Awful player. Like, really bad. I don't know how he's still getting games. He's really bad. I'm guessing it's Larson. Larson, please. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead with that. Anything changes there? No, nothing happens. It was like 1 minute in. Okay, let's go to the end.
Hodgie's got a bit of a decent habit of popping up and kind of stealing results when he's not being great, but that's not going to happen. That is the most unlike Fifey 1-0 solid, really dominant win that you're ever going to see from a Fifey side, I think. So, I mean, that's testament to what he's done with this 11 and tactic, to be fair.
Well done, Fifey. That was you're saying it's boring, Fifey, but it's probably going to get you a lot more results. Well, we'll get you more results than that first tactic, but it'll get.
Is that him on 9 points? Fifey's top? Is that Fifey top?
He is. Fifey goes top.
Fifey
goes top with a negative goal difference, which I absolutely love to see. Is that 3-1 nils? I don't know, mate. It might be. I can have a look at the end.
No, he beat me 2-1 and then a 1-0 and a 1-0.
Work to do from Hodgie, that front 3. You've got Shevchenko and Raul up there. They don't tend to do much a lot of the time. They look very good. They don't tend to do much. And if you've not got a striker who's firing, then you are going to struggle to score goals. Whereabouts are they? They've scored 3 in 4 games now. The games have been fairly tight for Los Santos, but they are just not coming up with anything, are they? So we've got an assist from Oya, which is Fifey's boy. I mean, no, there's just not even... What strikes me here is there's barely any tackles been done. Yeah.
And it's almost like, again, that 3 DM block, just the teams that are playing it are just controlling games for fun at the minute in the Super League. It's almost like the DMs aren't having to do much because they're not having, rather than double negative, they're having loads of the ball. It really is effective. I think this is the age of the 3 DMs, I think.
Possibly, mate. I've gone that way myself tonight. So they've done all the defending there, Los Santos. So well done, Fifey, mate. Very strong result. Keep it up.
Looks like the real deal. Looks like the real deal. Embrace it, Fifey, because...
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
No, I'm just saying. Looks like the real deal.
Let's stick to it. I don't know why I've just done that. I'll probably go with... I'm going to leave Haggis till the end. Haggis East Coast to the end. So I'll jump on straight across the Vikings just because I know Jens is here and I want to see how Stanley do again. This is how they've gone. Again, I'll leave it on Jens in case I've not done everything.
Dimble just asking a good question of Fifey there about where what Nesta was. So Dimble said, how did Nesta get the player 11 on the team sheet? Did your mouse break? Obviously, he stood out against me because he got a 10 and I fucking hate Nesta because how bad he was for Dragons. But that says more about me again. But I must be honest, like my first thought was, is that a download tactic? But it clearly isn't because Fifey's got it clicking. So yeah, how the fuck does Nesta end up being your number 9?
No idea. It's right, mate. Thank you, Jens, for that. I'm sorry you have to confirm everyone. It won't happen every week. It's just because it's my first one. So there's the team from Jens. I didn't realise Greavesy was getting up really early, and I forgot he's part of Haggis. But when your team's successful, it tends to be you coming on late. Greaves, unfortunately. Oh, do I have to do all these Jens?
Oh, Mega Horse saying Fifey's mouse is always broken. You remember Fifey's mouse going absolutely
yeah, with
nuts?
the juttering all over the place. Yeah. Oh, Jens, I'm gonna go just check Jens quickly. If you want numbers, just write in if you.
Fair play to Fifey. He said, I got really angry after Tato beat me and I started moving people around in all sorts of places. Well, whatever you've done, mate, it's working because 3 wins in a row is not easy in the Super League.
No, it's definitely not. Thank you, Jens. Sorry about that. It was like you sent it me on email, so I'm not got emails up, so I couldn't remember. And here we go. We've had a good look at this already, mate. I'm not going to labour the point again. We've showered him with praise. Let's get on with the game. I'm really interested to see how this one goes.
Stanley got a massive chance here to really cut themselves away from a lot of the riffraff in the middle of the table. My team included.
It feels like a yin and yang sort of game, this one. We expected Vikings to be up there with the players. We expected Stanley to be further down with the players. It's completely the opposite at the moment after 3 or 4 games. So yeah, could anything could happen here. Vikings.
And here's a big question for you, Tato. Obviously, Jens has said that he's been burned by getting rid of Sigalko. No pun intended with the burn thing there, by the way. Sigalko kind of going early last build and kind of ruin it. How long does he give him without scoring before he goes, yeah, it's not happening?
He keeps saying that he's not going anywhere, mate. But if he isn't scoring, if you've got one striker and he really isn't scoring, then you probably do want to get rid. And there's been many, many seasons where Sigalko hasn't scored. So for me, you'd be considering it. Oh, look at that. Now that's the performance I'd expect with Simeone and Davids.
I think as well, mate. I think just before you click, I think Maxim's had at least 4 of those chances of the 5.
Do you now? You think he's starting to turn up? Okay, you think he's getting involved? Let's have a look.
Well, no, because he's had chances. Three of the 5. He's had chances in each of the games, but he hasn't put them away. That's the big worry. If he wasn't creating anything, then you'd maybe think it was the supply. But actually, they're creating, they're having chances, but he's not putting it in the back of the net.
Yep, fair enough, mate. Agreed with that. He's still on a 7, so he's not playing terribly today. We've got our play. I mean, they've created nothing. Created absolutely nothing. So he might want to make a change here, but knowing him, he might just stick with it and see if they can scrape a draw or get that 1-0 win come out of nowhere because they can do that. Jens saying if he gets rid now, he's got no hope. I think the thing is, Jens, if you swap him for somebody good, you will, rather than selling all your best players for really average players. Like you've done recently, like I've told you many times, if you actually swap him for a couple of starters and a good striker, then who knows?
I mean, who do you think would come knocking? You could probably do a deal with Smuts for Owen +1. Not like it would have to be a big +1 to get him. I think you
maybe
could probably, when we fight, you'd probably have him. Hodgie definitely have him.
Probably offer you Shevchenko or Raul +1 potentially.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Let's get to 60, but I don't know, mate. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn. I'm not sure there. Right, let's see. So I'm going to pause it at 60, of course. I'm just going to pull that up.
Crossbar.
You're going to talk through the 64. Please don't score. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put the player ratings on. I'm just going to plug my laptop in. You talk, Duggan.
Yeah. Slightly improved from I do want to call Bostock Stanley. I'm sorry, lads. Red Rose Stanley. Shout out to the Arsman for doing the fantasy toppings up, by the way. Appreciate it. Work's been a little bit mad for me. And Helga being very, very quiet. And the Vikings kind of there, but a little bit average. You'd certainly think, looking at those 2 benches, that the Vikings have got the most to play with in terms of seeking a winner. Maybe Soroczynski coming on for Van Bronckhorst maybe in that middle, and Guerrero and Lopez either side of Maxim might be worth a little look at. Figo's been quiet with a 6. I think that's the only deal that Jens did in terms of bringing Figo in that I thought maybe wouldn't expect Figo to be a kind of Jens sort of player. Hasn't really got the best record. Edward's saying Maxim will score in the next 30 for sure. You all plugged in, bud?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, mate. Thank you for that. So there has been changes made. They're extending the arrows. Plenty of chat in the chat. Obviously, where else would it be about
Schmeichel with an 8, by the way, following up his 10 with an 8.
people after Sigalko. People are going, yeah, Schmeichel is loving it, isn't he? The Renaissance. People talking about getting conditions. Sorry, Sav. People getting Sigalko in. There's plenty of people, plenty of suitors, but Jens says he's probably not going to go anywhere. You'd have to put a big offer in and take the gamble on him. But
yeah, the weird thing is as well,
one who's got the minerals for it. I don't think Fifey's got enough in his squad that would probably be tempting enough with Venslar and Batistuta up top. But
yeah,
Hodgie, possible.
Would he do something like Shevchenko and Raul for Sigalko, something like that? Maybe, I don't know. Would that get Sigalko? Probably not. It would have to involve a striker and replace, because he's not going to play Thierry Henry as a striker, is he?
Well, should somebody be playing him as a striker? He is.
I mean, he's got the stats for it, mate. But he's for me as a striker, he's in the Zidane mold in terms of myths. As a striker, as an AMC, he's a totally different breed. But I think as a striker, he's definitely a Zidane.
I've never seen him. I think he could be very, very good in a two. Very good in a two. Henry up front. I would like to put him next to a bigger fella up top.
Would Mega Horse do Montella for Sigalko straight swap? Oh no, Montella's a burn, isn't he? Montella was at the Horse last year.
He's just swapped Vieri for two absolute clowns, so he could do anything. No offense, Mega. As is, please. Yeah,
I've got no deals left with Jens, like outgoing. Otherwise, I would have probably made him a decent little offer for Sigalko. Well, decent big offer for Sigalko, probably.
Yeah, I don't think I would. This save's not for me. As is, only going to damage against this. So you've come back into it, Sam. You've come back into it there with 3 shots. Let's see what you can do. See if you can nick it in the last half hour. I think Henry will be fine.
They haven't been battered. They've just not created much. Do you know what I mean? Defensively, they've been absolutely sound.
This team shouldn't be creating much, but they have been doing it against all odds in the last few games, and they are coming into it now. You can see they're starting that battering ram. It's almost like a battering ram. That middle, that middle 6. Tough for Jens this to not get another win yet.
Oh wow!
Fight that Jens, mate. That. Yeah, unlucky Jens, mate. You have done well. You'd have to blame your finishing, which again points fingers in one direction, mate. Unfortunately. Boumar coming in, so I was one criticising his deals. Boumar is a very good player, we know that. So he's coming in, he's done very, very well. Madovicia again on this side, solid. Let's have a quick check of the stats. Jeremy's, yep. Madovicia putting his foot in where it counts. Has he done plenty of runs as well? Madovicia, a few, not too many, a few. See, this is what I would expect with this team. Really solid, hard to beat, and not many goals, which is why I'm amazed when they scored 9 in 2 games. And here's Jens's boys. Petit turned up. Sigalko, he didn't win too many headers. It's not a terrible performance from him, is it?
No, not really. No, I think it's not as bad as the kind of scoreline indicates. But what I would say, kind of, those are the points that make you a top side, a top 6 side for Stanley. We all have those games in Super League where we get battered and kind of manage to steal points. The better teams do it more often than others. I think about your Badgers last season. Think about Dimble's Cosmos. Certainly think about kind of, the likes of Northern Burn when they've won. They had a spate of 1-0s when they went on to win the title. Greaves' side. So in context, that's a really, really good point for Stanley.
Yeah, I'd agree there. I think Paul's saying in the chat, good point for both, but Vikings have still yet to win. They've scored 1 goal. They're down the bottom. I can't see how any game at home is a good point for them at this point, mate. Stanley there only conceded 2 all season is mightily impressive, mate. Mightily impressive. Okay, let's move on and I'll jump across to myself. I'll just put me on now because I don't need to be last just because I'm here. I'll go as quick as I can, Greavesy, mate. Here's Steve's team. He's gone back to his title-winning formation. He's got Lubaduka up top again. He's got a decent AMC, a very good centre mid who got a 10 not too long ago, a couple of games ago. His defensive 4, he absolutely loves. I think they're pretty solid as well, and he's really improved his defence since a couple of games ago. I recommended playing Agahauer up front as like that little foil to big man, little man sort of thing. Your Owen, your Saviola. When he tried him and he did okay in 1 game, so he lumped him in. So no doubt he'll score now. He's improved
Yeah.
his team, hasn't he, mate? I think he's got better. His
Yeah,
team.
I think so. And do you know what? What I'd say is Steen never puts out shit teams. I know he does a lot of deals and it gets a lot of comments. Like Dudley and White Rose have never had shit teams, right? And it's like what Hodges always said is that flip of the coin argument that actually, you don't know what's going to happen when you press hit. And I think Stee is a really, really good example of that. Is this any worse, or is this tactic any worse than the tactic that Stee played and the 11 that Stee had when he won it? Absolutely fucking not. Is there any other logic outside of that as to why he's not doing as well as he is then, as he is now, or with White Rose? Absolutely fucking not. And I know we love that kind of like through narrative and all that sort of stuff. And obviously, I think Stee's one of the people in the league that take the felt as probably better than most. But actually, he's what different is he doing here than he didn't do with the Dudley Hill side that won it?
No,
And the answer is nothing, because he's actually playing the identical tactic. But the early indications are that for whatever reason, this group of players in this tactic, it's just not happening, mate. Not happening. And sometimes you've just got to go, fuck it, I'll hit play and hope for the best.
But he has changed it up now. He's only just gone to this formation. He's been playing this other one, which has brought relative success in the game, but hasn't provided too many goals. So we have gone to this one. It's old Dudley Hill. Like you say, It's worked in the past. There's no reason it can't work now. Here's how I've gone. I felt like I wasn't creating much the last couple of games, so I have gone with with 3 DMCs here. I am blessed in the DMC department. I invested in them a lot in the draft and in the transfers. Because when you get wingers, mate, I feel like 3 DMCs is the way to go. And I got wingers because I got gigs.
I agree.
I've tried it with 2 and it does work, but I haven't been controlling the game. I haven't created many chances as I'd like, aside from the 5 feet drubbing. But that was down to his formation, not particularly mine. Conscious not to that much. But go on, what do you think about the side there?
I think it's great, mate. I think, again, you build good sides now, when you have done for the last 2-3 seasons. I think and you'll not be asked because it's your view, but it's your team, but if you just click on the width ball and just go kind of right click up the middle of the pitch, I think like from the keeper, just right click up. I think this is the best looking tactic in terms of, if this was real life, where would you want these players to be in a real life situation? And I think this version of that 3DM is, it counts for now because it's not real life, but I think this is a really, really good version of that 3DM tactic. Yeah.
Almost like a middle finger sticking up as well, which I like. I've changed it slightly from last game. I've just dropped a striker because Inzaghi's gone a bit quiet, but Kluivert has been even quieter. So let's get going.
You do have a bit of an itchy trigger finger with strikers, though, don't you? I think your front 3 historically has always been more rotated than probably most people in the league. You kind of Are you a believer in kind of duck them out and duck them back in, and that kind of sorts it a little bit?
I don't do it on purpose, mate, but to be honest, I've got Kluivert and he's not scored and he's got 6.67. That's terrible in a 2. That's absolutely pathetic. Inzaghi came in, he scored 2 in his debut, but that was against Fife, and not Fife. Fife's mad formation. And the keeper got a 4 and he scored 1 penalty. And since then, it's been 6 and 7 and no performance. So if they ain't playing, they're getting dropped, because I've got 4 strikers, I think, that can all perform. 5, in fact. I've got.
But you don't score many, though, do you? Like you don't score loads. Like no. as a it's not what Badger side does, is it?
It is not, mate. But let's see how we go. Good luck, Steve, mate. I can't see in the chat or anything, but good luck, mate. And
do you want me to take the comment? Will it be on your side?
No bother. Go for it.
Fucking head scramble trying to do both, mate. I tell you. Kluivert with an early goal there, and there was a certain score comment for the black and white of the Badger boys. Viduka just put one over. Joe Cole in the mix there. Rebound to Viduka and a double save, it looked like. Feels though Dudley Hill have just came back into the game since going 1-0 behind. Agahawa with a chance, tipped by the opposition manager. Can he do the damage today? Joe Cole again with a chance. Feels like it's very much Dudley Hill, and it could be a really key goal coming in at half time. Viduka hits the post. Badgers doing what they do, absorbing some of that pressure. I'd be really surprised if you've created more than that 1 goal, to be fair, mate. And I think again, it's the same old song for Steve Wright. Wow, same old story for Steve Wright. He creates a hell of a lot, but for whatever reason, just this team isn't putting the ball in the net.
I'd say that's relatively even, to be fair. 5 and 6 away from home. I'd take 6 and 4 at home. Yeah, he's got a few more on target. I'd be taking 6 and 4 away from home personally. It looked in the text like that I was getting a bit of a humping. Yeah, I'd agree. I think there we go. I'll put conditions on if Steve cares. I don't think he does. How is it looking? Kaladza, his boy, is doing brilliantly. Agahawa's not turning up just yet. Lubaduka is going there. There we go. And Day doing well. He loves his Day, doesn't he? He always seems to have Day, doesn't he? 6 runs.
Yeah.
Be knackered.
Class. I think the other thing as well, Tato, is it feels like Dudley created that after the first 20 minutes. So kind of we jumped to 20 minutes and you scored, and then we had 25 minutes of all those chances being created for Dudley. So whatever's went on, it's kind of came in a very, very short space of time. Are you doing anything here, mate? Are you blinking or are you staying as?
I think I'm just going to stick till 60 and see how it is. Lennon, I think he'll be coming off if this carries on. I can't have one of my DMCs not, doing nothing. He's going up having pop shots for some reason. I don't know what he's doing there. But yeah, we've got some changes from Dudley Hill. De Boer for Agahawa.
That's a weird one. Steve Wright is in my top 3 people in the Super League, but Ronald De Boer is a really fucking strange one. And I know he's tested really well for him, but that is he
doesn't look very good.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it?
Steve tests against the AI as well most of the time because he tells me. So I think I'm just going to stick till 60, like I said. I'm not going to respond to the change.
Do you know what I was going to say before mentioning De Boer as well about kind of like where the league's at the minute? And I think the reason why it's so competitive and you can't really call most games, to be fair, nobody does mad shit anymore. Do you know what I mean? So we haven't got anybody playing narrow. We haven't got anybody playing 3 up top. We haven't got anybody playing AMLs or AMRs. Savage was playing with no arrows. Everybody plays with at least some arrows. Yeah. Everybody plays with at least a DM. So it is really fucking tight, and it's a really good standard of champ, I think.
And it shows in the league and how tight the league is, mate. So we'll go until 60. Thank you, Greaves, for that comment. That's noted. I read it, mate. Appreciate it.
Dimble just saying there's always one winner of the Steve Wright Foundation appearance. So Dimble's got this running joke. Well, me and Dimble have that there's always a player in Steve's squad that makes one appearance and then gets trapdoored and never gets seen again. Tonight is Ronald De Boer. So he's on, but he'll never be seen again.
It's his second appearance, this one. So Steve, I'll jump to you so you can pause it or whatever and screenshot that because I'm going to jump over to me as well. So there you go, mate. Have a look at that quickly and make any changes. Here's mine. I'll do my changes now, Steve. I don't know if that's normally the way it's done, Doug, but I don't want anyone thinking I'm responding to changes. So that'll go off. He'll go off there. Big Ashley Light coming on. And Aginaga for one of these two. One of these two absolute morons. I'm not one who drops Nicky Franco. That's not my bag.
Yeah.
Aginaga can go in the centre mid there. So still jump back to you there, mate. As is, he said as is. Match stats, very even now, mate. Very even. So good luck, Steve, mate. May the best one man win, pal. Let's go. Always tight, always hard work playing Dudley Hill away. I just feel like there's a bit more badges going on, but they're very dangerous to lose those wide wingers and 2 up top.
Has Giggs been a bit quiet for you?
Relatively, he got a couple of assists early on, and he's one of my better performing players. But I don't think the formation suited him previously. But I mean, I'll be happy with that.
That was the one, wasn't it? That was the one for Steve.
Now you talk for a minute, mate, because I need to do my screenshots.
That is what the Badger boys do. 1-0 away from home. Clivett with a goal. Didn't really, even though they've created 12 chances, didn't really ever look as though they had the kind of tide or the wind behind them. Again, it's weird in the league how these kind of persistent narratives kind of attach themselves to some managers in terms of what we expect and what we see. And Steve, again, it's another game where he's created a hell of a fucking lot. He'll be fuming tonight. The chat with him, he'll be absolutely pinging. He'll be fuming. He'll be fucking drowning his sorrows. Montero with a 5. I very rarely get things right in this game, but shipping out Montero because he's an absolute liability. I think that's his second 5. Is that his second 5, Tato?
Oh, is that was that the first one with you?
Third. That first one was with me, and then he
3 5s out of 4 this season.
Yeah, that's awful, that, isn't it? He is a fucking liability. I was so glad to get the back of him. I know Boya hasn't been great, but it is what it is. Mate, that is what the Badger boys do. They're tough to break down. They take their chances when they create them, and it's probably why you're going to be a top 3 side this season, mate.
Yeah, possibly. We'll see. We don't create enough really for me, but to get Patrick Clivett off and running a bit like the Montella one for Burnham, I'm happy for the win, of course, but mainly because he's got a goal. He's off and running, and he's 1 up front on his own. Yeah, Lennon didn't play particularly well. Aguinaga did well there. He's plenty of tackles when he came on, and Lyth does what he does. I'm going to try and be bringing him on as much as I can, really, just to develop him, to be honest. Klopp been doing well.
I mean, I think if it's like in a strange way, because it doesn't really have any effect on the league, but I love the fact that actually lies with you, because you will fucking play him and you will kind of make him what he can be. And exciting that.
Hopefully, mate. Hopefully. So GG's there, Steve. It was a good game, mate. It was very even. So I think that formation's got legs, but yeah, just not quite the right combination up front. Maybe do a transfer. You've not done one for 10 or 15 minutes, so give it a go. I'm hoping Bonanno gets a game here because he's my fantasy keeper. So I'm hoping we'll get a red card for Tavian and a saved penalty for Bonanno of some sort. So here we go. This is the team. Stam and Vaschuk. I like him, Vaschuk. I had him a long time ago. I think it was at Haggis or maybe Astor or somewhere. He was really good. He didn't look particularly good there, but he got spoke about last week, so I won't go on there. Pizarro and Hussein. That's a change, isn't it? Yeah, Palermo is out and Pizarro is in. So that's
Swanee's
good.
in the chat. Swanee's in the chat. I feel like I haven't spoken to Swanee in ages. Been so fucking busy, and I feel as though there's some really important people that I usually talk to a hell of a lot that I've totally neglected, and Swanee's definitely one of them. So love to you, Swanee, mate. I miss you and hope you're well, and I hope the band's well.
Chatting to him earlier, he dropped me a message as well on the WhatsApp, wishing me luck on the first one, which again appreciate. Cheers for that, Swan.
He's a top lad.
He is a top lad. That's the changes coming from Cosmos. Again, I hope they don't mind me showing it. We've got Panucci coming from me, not for 23 million this time, but just for Kaka, another of those youngsters that I'm going to try and blood in the reserves for a bit, see what happens.
You've just skipped past Felipe Maniero. You know how much I fucking love him.
Yeah, you do love Philip, don't you? Yeah. So he's coming in. He looks absolutely garbage.
He does look really bad.
His heading is woeful. He's off the ball bad. He's slow. Yeah. So he's going. So he'll be a good signing there for Dims, and he's selling Wes Brown, isn't he? Yeah, he came in, got 5 tackles, selling them already. So plenty of business going on with Cosmos there, and there's another one. There's the Torres one and the D'Alessandro, so he's bringing that in there. I did want to click on Bob. He never gets a look in positioning. Yeah, I mean, yeah, get him in the team, Dims. So there we go. Big game, this one. Big game. I think everyone will be behind Cosmos. I'm behind. Sorry, no, I'm neutral to this game. Not bothered who wins.
I would just a quick shout at Dims listening. I would love to chat some Kovacic again, mate, if he's available.
Why would he be? Let's see. Where's Brown going Tato to end the stream? Oh, right, yeah. That was funny that time, wasn't it? You are well annoying, Edwards. Right, stop doing annoying deals. Bob, I thought Bob, I'm just reading the chat here, Dimble saying big calls dropped by for Bob. I would be playing Bob on the right wing, mate, to be honest. I think he's a winger all day long. I'm not going to say too much about this because Campbell seems to be permanently on Twitter live at the moment. So he's done enough talking for it. I haven't watched his last 18 videos, but the ones before it I watched. He's happy with Samuel and Cannavaro. They're the wrong way.
He's asking to swap them, mate.
I did think that. Always Samuel on the left. Emerson's there. He's going. He's been surprisingly good, and he's going for Big Shagger. Tetradze is in there. One of Roxy's ones. He was on my list of potential signings from the draft. Perez still getting looking. It's got some weaknesses, this, isn't it? But it's quality in most areas, but it's got some weaknesses. What do you think?
Yeah, but the main thing is what Rox does is recruits players that are better than their reputation, and what Greavesy does is build tactic files that makes those players better than the sum of their parts, greater than the sum of the individual parts. And what Campbell does is take the credit for it. So, and video, content. I don't think he gets that it should be quality content, not quantity of content. But yeah, listen, Fabio, for Cannavaro, Samuel was unbelievable for them against me last week. 16 out of 16 tackles. And then he brings Fabio Cannavaro in, and I think Jens will probably regret letting him go, but far from me to kind of comment on other people's deals because I've done some bad ones in my time. This would be a statement home win, I think, if Haggis did East Coast. Then we'll just have that one kind of blot on his copybook this season. But again, always looks strong. Jens is absolutely right. Sorry to Tato to speak over you, but having Greavesy in is embarrassing after all the shit he gave Greavesy over all those fucking years and wasted everybody's life because he can't be asked to be accountable, going solo. He brings a bulletproof vest in to protect himself. It's embarrassing.
So, Greavesy, you're after number 10 for Del Vecchio, but just to remind you that Vieri's coming in. And if there's any number that's made for Vieri, it's the massive number 10. So, I mean, I don't care about it, but are you sure you want someone who's not going to play much for you at number 10? Yeah? Okay, you've done it now. There you go. That was your choice. That's a horrendous choice, Greavesy. Let's see how they get on. I'm really interested into this game. Come on the coast. Whoever, come on the goals. Let's see how we get on. Haggis seem to be in good form. I don't think they're particularly high at the top of the league, but they do seem to be in good form. And a goal there for Baz Ferguson. It's not his first of the season either. That impenetrable centre-half pairing and a 3DMC wall has been penetrated. Ooh, cheeky. By Baz Ferguson. Can they get any more? Fairly even game, you would say. Probably Coast on top there, mate. I would say by the looks of it. Oh, no, they had 6. 1 on target only. Player ratings, how they're looking. Very, very average from both sides, really. Let's check out the deeper stats, mate. Anything to talk about there? Or
Not really, mate. I thought text kind of leaned towards Cosmos more than the match stats would indicate. I'm really interested to see how Van Nistelrooy and Vieri do in a 2, to be fair. I don't think either of them have got a massive Super League record other than the tainted season, so that's interesting. But again, you and Dimble are so similar in terms of how you play this game now. You don't concede many, you take your chances, and again, your tactic files are always absolutely spot on. And this is probably where he wants to be at half time, 1-0 up away from home. That's probably the best run of form Barry Ferguson's had since Fifey's title winning season, I think.
Yeah, that's very impressive. That, and Dims knows what he's doing, but I wouldn't imagine he's doing anything particularly adventurous with him. It's just one of those. He's in the right formation, got the right players around him. He's in the right place at the right time. They're both going till 60. And let's see what goes on. My computer's flashed something up, but I'm just going to ignore it. There's Van Nistelrooy. There's one of the Dream 2 up front. They've got a Dream 2 up front, wow, and a Dream 2 at the back. There we go. Quenka seems to be doing well.
I think they both take a point as it stands now, mate. It felt as though Haggis just turned the tide a little bit post 45.
I think Haggis would be upset with just a point now. The way that second 15 has just gone, they've just pummeled ahead there, haven't they? You can tell again by very, very busy centre halves and DMC from Dims. Here's your condition boys coming up. I'm not keeping it on long because it's boring. Samuel again, mate. Like he did this the other game, didn't he? I know went mental against you, but he's got them all across the board. The key ones on both of those columns. He's doing the business, isn't he?
Yeah, this early as well. I know Samuel's a beast anyway, but again, it's like big tackling players, big heading players seem to just be absolutely dominating this save at the moment.
Yeah, certainly are. So there's Dimble. He's gone in already. Gone in. I'm waiting for the Haggis one, just checking. I can hear some movement upstairs with my children. I'm hoping I'm not called away. Guede for Del Vecchio, the guy who's just got number 10. Yeah, very good. Del Vecchio for Guede, swap with Amoroso. Yep, fair enough. Makes sense. I wonder if they're going to be playing an AMC permanently if they've got that big shagger coming in. You're losing Amoroso. I know you've got Del Vecchio, but is there anybody else that they've got there? Did they get Saba or anybody? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's anything else that they've got in the squad, really, but they'll know what they're doing. That's not a question. It's just me asking who you're getting in or who's going to be there. I think that's it. Greavesy, is that it? You've not said that's it or like a thank you, play on or anything, but that should be it, mate. I think 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes or so to go. Does this affect the table much? Haggis, yeah, they're in the top, around about the top. Could bump either one of them. Is my maths correct? Is to top of the league. Any goal text on top of the league here. I'm going to press play, Greavesy. Cheers, thank you. Mate. Let's go to the end. Sorry for the delay there, fellas. Right. Yeah, it seems a bit of Coast coming forward now. A bit of Coast now. Palermo, they've lumped the big guy on, see what he can do. Yeah, mainly been Coast since the changes. Not too difficult. There we go. A bit of a real chance. I'll take a draw here, mate. If I've said it before, and I will take the draw there. Thank you very much. Anytime the Haggis boys don't win is a happy Tato. Yeah, weak attacks, mate. Wouldn't you say?
or testament to how much pressure they're put under by those two blocks of 2 and 3 DMs maybe. Zelius getting man of the match there away from home probably demonstrates that a little bit, I think. Perez again has been really, really good since coming on in that half-time performance, hasn't he?
He's
It's a
got the
bit of a
assist
weird
again.
one.
I was
Shout
thinking
out
Wilson
for
had the assist.
yeah.
Yep. Shagger to come. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of him, to be honest, Campbell, but you may as well put two of them up there and see what happens. He's certainly better than Amoroso. A fair point at two very good teams that will, in my opinion, be top six, and that was my opinion before you did all the transfers.
Absolutely.
Campbell, before you moan about it, I said you'd both be top six. Two very, very good teams, and that, mate, brings a conclusion to the day. Nobody scoring over 3 goals, which is pretty embarrassing, pretty pathetic for my first stream ever. We've got Badgers winning 1-0. I can't be asked for killing them all, mate. I don't see the point because you can just go back and click through. Exiles 1-0 against Santos. Fulchester 2-all. Foss Road. Haggis 1-all Coast. You lost again, mate. Sorry. Stackington lost to Burn, and Vikings couldn't pick up the first win. So here's the league table. You've got Exiles leading the way with his negative goal difference. I'm coming in second, having only conceded 1, still unbeaten. Us in the slot, still unbeaten, mate. Stanley barely conceding as well. And you'd have to say Northern Burn barely conceding, but at the same time, they're barely scoring. Right down to the bottom, but also not, mate, cut adrift. Nothing too stressful yet. This is a concern, wouldn't you say, Duggan? But
yeah, I think so, mate. I think Vikings on scoring off, and probably us and Fulchester and Dudley and Stackington are conceding too much. I think we might see Asana and Dye centre half for us next game, I think.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Makes sense. You got Crespo up at the top. I'm not gonna labour the point on this too much. I'm just gonna click on the ones that I like, to be honest, because it's my stream. And Penn's there. Ferguson, credible for a centre mid. And Penn's are brilliant from you, mate. As always, you just need to tighten up at the back. Madovici and Franco, that was just from one game, so it's not really worth looking at. Assists, that's sickening. It's Greavesy and his left wingers, isn't it? What's he doing? Every time he's got these random left wingers playing well. Am I getting on there? Giggs is knocking down, but nothing to write home about. 2 there again from you, mate. It is just your defence. You're terrible, aren't you?
Shake the back, mate. Shake at the back.
Always are. Go down to our tackles. Nicky Butt is steaming ahead. I think he got about 28 tonight, to be fair. Samuel after that performance. These ones here are both against you, Duggan, in games against you. Which I really enjoy.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it, mate. So disappointingly not many from the bloody Badgers, but it is what it is. Last one I care about is dribbles. Some people like that. I don't really take much notice of that one. Okay, so there we go. Thank you, boys, for the kind comments. I hope it went well. I hope I didn't mess anything up there and waffle on. Probably sick of my voice by now. Haggis. I'm going to the Haggis. We've got Fifey taking on Dims, which again, winner of that stays top or goes top almost for a short while. Fulchester Macca taking on the Crazy Horse Stackington. Yep, as mentioned, I'm at Haggis. Hodgie will be playing Smuts there. You've got a game against Northern Burn, so a team that doesn't score enough against a team that isn't conceding. So that'll be an 8-all draw. Sloth Stanley, again, a bit of a crazy cat here against the solid Stanley. And then Jens will be hoping Steve loses his head and plays a mad formation, and he takes advantage of it. So that's how we're looking. That will be on, what day is on Sunday. I don't know when I'll do the packs. Maybe tonight. Depends how long it takes. What, we're on 4th? Oh, that's a big jump. I'll just sit and click through Champ now, boys. So it might be tonight or it might be tomorrow. I don't know. I'll see how long it takes. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for being in the chat. And yeah, if you got any transfers, send them in. I'll try and do them all. If I forget, then it's because it's my first time, so don't cry about it. But thank you. Yeah, Viva la Super League. Thank you, Duggan. Anything to add at the end?
No, I just hope people at the very least give you a little message, mate, to say well done, because ultimately, this thing only works with 4 of us, and there wasn't many other people came forward and wanted to chip in. So, and it's not easy. We all care about it. It is high pressure, probably more than it should be. So yeah, hats off to you, mate. Thanks for getting involved. You've done absolutely class tonight. Miles better than that first performance in the cup from me, where I was clicking all over the shop like an epileptic. Yeah, well done, mate, and hats off to your Taters at the wheel.
No danger. Thanks, boys. Cheers for that. Thank you for coming in. And just finally, before I go, hey-o!
Hey-yo!